Here we are again. Today we're going to create another fake rock or faux rock. This one's covering my valve covers in my front yard.
What's that? Okay, rock number 2.
This is my first attempt at creating a valve box. It's wire mesh with spray foam. I spilled some white paint, so that didn't look so great. What I did is I had a cutout here so it could fit around my pipes for my water intake.
All right, rock number 2.
So what I'm doing here, I'm going to make that cutout that fits around the pipes a little bigger, just knowing that I'm going to fill it up more with some of the wall float. I also just wanted to fit more flush around my pipes. Now this whole thing, you could have definitely used a cardboard box. You don't have to use this wire mesh spray foam thing that I did.
So let's go. All right, rock number 2.
What I'm doing here is I'm just going to create my mix, my wall float to water mix, and keep on adding either water or wall float just so you can get that consistency of clay. Like I mentioned in my first video, it takes me to 3 to 4 iterations before I find the right mix. I'm first going to start by putting this mix on the top. And what I'm trying to do is just get a nice layer. And what I'm going to also try to do is try to get along the side walls as far down as possible. What I'll probably end up doing is getting about 1/3 to halfway down the sides, which is fine because I can fill the rest in the following day. Now here I am filling around the edges of that cutout. This is one of the reasons why I made that cutout bigger, because I knew it was going to fill around those edges and still give enough room so they can fit around the pipes.
All right, day 2 of rock number 2. Spray it.
So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to spray it completely with water, just so when I do put the second round of wall float mix on it, it'll stick better to the wet surface of the wall float from the day before. Okay, here I am making my mix of wall float to water. Again, take as many iterations as you need to get that right mix of that clay-like feel. This is perfect because it kind of falls right off the trawl. My goal today is to fill in the rest of the walls. So I turned the thing upside down so I can fill up all the walls and start trying to blend it with the wall float that I put on yesterday. Now I'm going to go all the way to the top of this, orientation. But in this orientation, the top will be the bottom when it's sitting into the ground. Now that I got the walls complete, what I'm going to do here is just create a nice little ridge around the base of this portion of the edge here. Now this edge, the reason I'm doing this is because this is the edge that's going to be sitting to the ground. And I just wanted to create a nice little clean edge so I'm not seeing any spray foam or any of the old stuff that I saw before. day 3, what I'm going to be doing today is filling in all the cracks. But before I do that, I'm going to break all the edges up with my sanding block here, and just trying to make it as smooth as possible, or as smooth as I want it to look. And then today, once I start filling in all the little small cracks that may be formed during the drying process, I'll also start creating some features. And before I start doing all that, I'm going to wet this whole thing again, and just so the wall float mix that I put on today will stick better to the wall float mix that I put on the previous day. Now here I am filling in some of the cracks. If there's some features or some ridges that you want to smooth out, this is the perfect time to do all that. Right here, I'm creating features on the top of the valve box. Features that look like ridges, little valleys here. What I'm trying to go for is like an organic, nerve-like look on the top of the valve box, because I'm going to make a face in the front, so I kind of want to look the top look like veins and nerves kind of popping through. So the ridges look like this, just something to make it look like a rock that also looks kind of veiny. Here what I'm doing is just spraying and just covering any little holes or just imperfections that I didn't like. So I waited about 4 hours. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of break all the edges with my sanding block and make it smooth. The next part here is to make the face in the front, and I'll show you that. So what I did, I turned the structure over, and I'm going to wet the top portion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the face on the top perspective from here. So this is going to be where the face is going to go. The first part is to make my mix. So this is the last part of the rock, just to make the face, and lo and behold, what I did is I put too much water in my mix. So I mixed it up. I used up all the wall float that I had left in this one bag, which made 2 rock structures, or 2 faux rocks. So what you're gonna see me do is kind of grab all the little bits of wall float cement, or just pieces that broke off, and I'm gonna try to add it to this, and just try to thicken it up. And this is what I'm doing now. Also, to let this thicken up, I waited about 45 minutes, seeing it hopefully would dry a little bit, and to kind of create a thicker mixture. And I just couldn't wait any longer. So here I am doing the face. Hope you like it. What you see here is I'm creating the brow of the face. So you'll see this is just going to create that nice little ridge, so I can put inset eyes into this face. And this, of course, is the nose, and I'm going to keep on forming it and trying to make it look as much of a face as possible, but get that face/rock mix so it looks very organic. So now that I created the face, I'm looking at the edges. I'm just gonna try to blend in this, the new wall mount mix that I put on with the old, and just try to blend it in on the top, just so it looks nice and natural.
Let's look. Where it dries. 4 hours since I put that face thing on. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give it a paint job.
Okay, I'm gonna start with 3 colors here. I'm gonna go with an espresso brown, then you'll see me use gold, and then I'm gonna use a cream color. And what I'm trying to do is create layers of colors to make it look more natural. This here is the gold color. I'm just trying to pepper it and create layers like I mentioned before.
Ivory silk.
So this is the cream color that I referred to before. And again, just trying to create layers to give it a more natural look. Now this is the first paint job. I'm gonna do another one after everything's dried tomorrow. So this is the end of day 3. I created my face feature, some features on the top, and gave it the first paint job. And then we'll continue it tomorrow.
That's going to look a little different when it's dried tomorrow. Probably knock off some of the hard edges. Again, that's the bottom. And this is going to be the front. So that's what it looks like. Let's take a look around. So you see the little bit of a face on it. Shadow here. So those different colors are mostly from old cement and new cement. Get the filling to fade together. I'm gonna do this one last paint job.
Before I start the final paint job, I'm gonna use my sanding block and just kind of break all the hard edges off, make it smooth, try to make it look natural, and see if I can blend the face in together as well. So this is the final paint job, the second day, last day here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start off with this cream color, this light ivory color, and kind of lighten things up. After this, I'm gonna go over it again with the espresso brown and just try to create shadows along the eyes and the nose, and just kind of try to see if I can bring out that face feature in the front a little better. And then I'm gonna go and just kind of create some layers with the gold color. That'll be the third coat. I will finish this up with a matte finish clear coat as well.
Last thing I'm gonna do a clear coat.
As I did with the first rock I did, I'm using this clear coat pretty liberally. And again, I'm just trying to blend the colors together, keep them together so they don't bleed over time. Hopefully this kind of gives it a nice little sheen look as well.
Let it dry and then I'll put it in place. All right, this is where Valkyrie's gonna go.
Okay, trying to put the rock in place. I'm gonna clear around the edges so it has a nice base to sit on first. All right, this is the final product. This is my valve cover slash faux rock slash fake rock. Fits nicely into the pipes. Now I just got to figure out what to do with my ugly hose that's sitting there. But this is what it looks like. All right, this is the end product. Still see a face. Covers my valves. That's the end of this project.